The future of investing, crypto, blockchain, the algo trades. How do you win against it? Is it about to take over the way things are done on the stock market? Well, we're going to talk about that live right now. Tap the like button if you'd like to share this out, and if you'd like to see more like this, consider subscribing as well if you would like to see more of my content. But as we enter a world of crypto technology, all based on the blockchain, everything is about to change. In fact, this Friday, we have our very first White House Crypto Reserve Summit. Hopefully, we're going to cover it live if enough of you share and like this video. But we're moving away from the old-fashioned reserve of gold and taking it to a digital gold. And the way that we trade and invest is going to change as well. AI, bots, technology, it's all about to take over. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? How are we going to trade? Well, let me share with you a few thoughts with you, and then perhaps you'd like to leave me your thoughts in the comments below. But I'm going to put a bit of a warning out to everybody. We've been used to trading years ago. We couldn't trade the way we do today. It was very expensive to be able to trade. In fact, it's very difficult to make any money because you have to pay for every trade. And then recently, we've been able to trade on our phones and do it sat on the toilet. Well, that's all about to change again. With the new systems in the financial world, potentially XRP being used by the bank institutions, we're going to see stock trading done on the blockchain. It's going to happen much more quickly. It's going to happen 24/7, 7 days a week. And what are you going to be able to do to trade and compete with all of that? Let me share a couple of my thoughts with you. So welcome to my world here in my studio. Here I sit and trade and make investments. But things are about to get very, very different. Now let's consider a couple of things. Up to this point, we've been able to trade in certain trading hours. There's been some sort of restriction, but we've always noticed algo trades, and we saw a perfect example of that on Friday. On Friday, in the last few minutes after the Zelensky row with Trump and the fears of tariffs, all of a sudden the market popped up. Why did it pop up? Was everyone buying the good news? There wasn't any good news. It was predetermined algos waiting to buy. And they did. And very quickly, the market moved upwards. You couldn't have prepared for that. You couldn't have timed that. There was no way for you to be able to benefit and trade that. It's impossible because it could have gone down as quick as it went up. It's no surprise, just as the announcement of the crypto reserve was announced, someone did a huge trade. A sensei was telling me 50 times trade or 50 million or whatever it was on XRP just before the announcement came out. And then we saw XRP rally, and then it was trimming up again, people taking profits. You couldn't have preempted that. That would probably be called more inside trading, really. Those that knew, maybe Trump himself knew that he was about to say something that would promote XRP. So, hey, why not buy some yourself? Well, we're not talking about inside trading. We're talking about algo trading, which we all know about, but it's about to get a lot worse. Maybe worse for you, better for those that control it. So essentially, what can happen is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, very efficiently on the blockchain, everything could be sold and dumped and sold and dumped very, very quickly for those that are controlling the system, making money. So it could make the market a lot more stable or a lot more volatile. Depends on how it's used. But how can you win as a trader? Well, I'd suggest You can't. So why even try? It's difficult enough to try and trade today and try to compete with Wall Street and the algos and everybody else. 95% of day traders already lose. So why assume you are in the 5%? What options do you have? Well, putting your money under the bed isn't going to work. You're going to lose on inflation. Putting the money in the bank doesn't work. The bank lend out your money. They use it to invest. So why would you not invest it yourself? What do they give you in return? Nothing. No point doing that then, is there? So what can you do? You invest. You buy the stock market. But you can't chase the stock market up or down. You've no idea what's going to happen. You've no idea when someone, the systems or the algos are going to trade and take the market up or down. What can you do? Well, there's only one thing you can do, is buy the main index, like I've been doing now for 14 months, the S&P 500. Simply buy the main index. Is it perfect? Is the American economy the greatest economy in the world? Maybe, maybe not. It certainly houses some of the greatest businesses in the world, but essentially, if America carries on, it's bankrupt. It's not a great balance sheet for America, is it? And what if the world changes? What if the world order changes? What if China rise up and the dollar isn't the central currency anymore? You don't know. Anything could happen. So what can we do? Well, we simply buy the American economy, if that's what you're doing with the S&P 500, and you simply hold, and you simply buy on the dips. That's all you can do. I don't think you can wisely trade it. I don't think you're going to be able to beat the future. I think it's going to get a lot more difficult. In fact, it's going to get impossible. It's already 95% better than everybody else, so I would suggest it's going to be impossible. So you simply buy when the markets are oversold and on a dip. And when I say oversold, it's never going to be completely oversold because it never can. And the reason why it never can be oversold is you're never going to be able to buy the market at true value. And if you don't believe me, think of this. Think of yourself. What do you earn every day from your job? Whoever employs you is paying you not what you're worth. They can't possibly pay you what you're worth. And I'll give you an example. If you work at McDonald's and they pay you $10 an hour, let's just use that as an example, you have to be worth at least $20 an hour for them to make money out of paying you. So you're never going to get your true value. No one is ever going to pay you what you're really worth. Nobody. Unless you work for yourself, then you can dictate what you're worth. However, you're only worth what someone is prepared to pay for you. I would like to say I'm worth $1 million an hour. I don't see anyone queuing up to pay me $1 million an hour. So you're only worth what you're worth. Your market that you trade in determines your value. When I do a show in England, and if I wanted to play in a local pub in my village, I'd be lucky to get $100. Not because I'm worth $100, but I'm worth $100 to that venue for what they're going to take in revenue for me to play there. However, when I play in Dallas, in Mark Cuban's house or Jerry Jones' house, I can command $5,000. Have I done a different show? No. So it's exactly the same. I'm worth more to them because that is their value they place on me, not what I place on myself. So valuation and what things are worth are not really what we should be focusing on. You'll never be able to get what you're worth. You'll never be able to buy a stock for what it's worth because the moment it approaches those levels, people have already started to buy the future price. So how do we trade? How do we invest? What are the options? Well, there only is really one option. Buy a broad spectrum of the global economy, if you want to buy an all-world index, or the US economy or emerging markets economies with a low ETF fund, low management fee. VU is perfect for that because it's 0.03%, and simply hold for the long term. When you've made your money in the future, what do you do then? Well, you could sell it, pay capital gains on it. The longer you hold it, of course, the less it will be. But now you've simply got a pile of cash, which is now going to depreciate over time because you've sold it and it's now sitting there in cash. You could move it into something else which earns you an interest, but you're still going to pay tax on the interest. What you can do, and what real money does, is borrow against it. You've now made yourself $1 million, $100 million, and you borrow against it because that money you're now living on is tax-free. You're not taxed on borrowed money, but that's providing you an income, and your money stays where it is, continually compounding and continually growing. I've not yet found a better way to invest for my future. You invest because one day you need money to pay the bills. At some point, you need money to pay the bills. That's why we invest. So all we can do is look forward, stay invested, and when it comes to it, we can borrow against it. Can we trade and beat algos? No, not at all. Let me finish off with my final thought. So, as I give you my closing thoughts on this, we can just look at today's market. It's up and down based upon what we're waiting for with the tariffs. 1 minute it's up, next minute it's down. You can't possibly trade that. It's impossible. You can guess, you can look at charts and you can think, well, I can buy at this level, sell at this level. But every time you sell, you've got to pay tax. If it's on your main accounts, you've got 20% gone straight away. And you've also then got to get back in at a better level. And it's virtually impossible. And as we go on and things move more and more onto the blockchain and they happen quicker and quicker, 24/7, 7 days a week. And yes, I know you can set 24-hour limit orders. And I'm sure once it goes on the blockchain, we'll also be able to trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is it healthy to do so? Is it going to benefit you long term? I would suggest not. Because we're all trading with each other. It's just in and out, left and right. Everyone's competing with everyone. Just come out of the race and create your own race. Know what your targets are, know what your goals are, and just stay in the game. I think that's the only way going forward you will be able to beat the system. Don't try to play the system. Create your own. Tap the like button if you found this video of interest and useful to you. Maybe leave a comment below. Maybe subscribe to the channel and join our army around the world in 69 countries. This is my final part of 5 videos today. I started off with Palantir, then Nvidia, then the tariffs, then XRP, and here we are with algo trading at the end. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. You'll find, and also pinned to the comments. Here, I'll put video number 1. Palantir was the first one. And down here, I'll put Nvidia. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you live on the next live show. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.